We're going top down?
Yes, from the top. Make it drop.
I was not expecting that.
There you go. Shout out to those who get that reference.
I'm not even sure if I get that reference.
I want to make you Google it after the show then.
What was the exact words again?
From the top, make it drop.
Oh, I know it's a song.
It is a song. It is a very explicit song that my parents would not let me listen to as a kid.
Just tell me because it's going to drive me crazy.
It's the song WAP by oh wow, I gotta know artists by Meg The Stallion and
I know Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my God, Cardi B and Meg The Stallion. And
I know that. I think I know that song.
One of the Kardashians in the music video, and there was a CGI snake.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I don't think I've watched a music video in 10 years. Maybe now that's a bit much. 5 years.
Mm-hmm. They're YouTube things now. You know, we grew up in the MTV era where like TRL and music video countdowns mattered. Now it's music television. MTV is now a reality TV show channel. So
they mattered a lot, by the way. Okay.
Yes.
Let's get into it here. I am going to start off with a question to you.
Oh, question to me. Ready?
Question to you. Do the Phoenix Suns deserve their own tier?
Ooh, a tier of their own.
A tier of their own. So let me just give you a couple things right now. So again, this is a little dicey because we're recording this before as the Suns Nets game has just started. But at press time, the Phoenix Suns have won 10 games in a row. It is their second double-digit winning streak of the season. They are 3 games up on the next best team in the league, which would be the Golden State Warriors. Phoenix Suns have 40 wins against 9 losses. And after the Warriors, by the way, you got to go down another 4 games to get to the Grizzlies. So if you look at it like that, the Suns are 7 games up on the 3rd best team in the NBA, record-wise, at least. Now, I think the argument against is that, again, you know, obviously, if you've been listening to this Patreon podcast for a while now, you know, I always go back to my lovely net ratings, in which the Phoenix Suns are not even first. They are second to the Warriors. What does your gut tell you? They deserve a tier of their own?
No.
They don't.
Them and Golden State. It's a 2-team tier. I understand I'm saying this as Golden State is about to lose to San Antonio, but it's a 2-team tier. And we're also saying this as Phoenix might make an example out of Brooklyn, but
you know what? Even if they did, that to me would be more. And Harden is playing tonight. In addition to Ayton and Crowder are also back. Crowder missed a couple games. Ayton has missed several weeks. You know why it's the right decision? Because the Warriors, as you were just alluding to, even if the Warriors lose tonight, which it looks like they are going to do, okay, that puts them at 14 losses. That's still 4 less losses than anybody else in the league. Like there's a couple of teams with 19. There's one team with 18 that we'll get to, or 2. Sorry, there's 2 teams actually with 18. Might be 3 by the time we're done recording this. But it's like there's a handful of teams with like close to 20 losses or around 20 losses. The Warriors still only have 14 now.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think it's Suns and Warriors.
That's the order, but that's also the tier.
That's the order. Okay, that's the order, but that's also the tier. I got you. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Warriors number 1 in defense. Like they've incorporated Clay back. Well, yeah. I think the Warriors are a solid number 2.
I will say this though. Again, if you're talking about, and we should have. I tend to skip over these things because we've been doing them for a while. Remember the rules here for these power rankings. This is not just a reflection of where things have been. It is also incorporating, to a certain extent, where things are going from here.
I think the best way to describe it from what we've done so far this year is not just like what you've done so far. Where do you rank? Because like you've said before, we would just go in one stats order, whether it be wins or win percentage or net rating, and just say, okay, this is 1 through 30. Thank you for listening to our podcast. No, we're also projecting based off of what you've done so far this year. Yes. What's the order of team that we think will win the championship based off of what you've shown us so far in this season in order? Yeah.
And I think you would have to put those two teams.
Yes.
Well,
I think based off of what we've seen, those are the two teams. Now I'm curious what your hesitation is.
My hesitation is look, I have disrespected Phoenix in the past. Mm-hmm. I was the one in our text chain who said the Bucks are going to win the championship because they have the best player.
Well, not disrespectful. That was correct, John.
It was correct. But it was also disrespectful. I think Phoenix has to be considered the title favorite at this point. They've just been too solid. And what I was getting to, they're the only team in the league that has both a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. And it's not even like it's close. They have I think it's the second rated defense and the third rated offense. So like just every statistical measure you could possibly want. Reason sorry, say what you're gonna say.
One last thing. The other reason why these are the two teams for like favorites to win the title, I think, in order. These are also the only two teams with at least 20 wins at home this year. The Suns, like they'll have home court is what I'm saying until we get to that series if they play each other. They're also the only or one of 4 teams that have at least 20 wins by 10 points or more. And of the teams that have at least 20 wins, only the Jazz have less than 8 losses along with them. And the Jazz are a whole list of complicated problems that we'll get into. But like they're not just winning at home, which is where they'll play most of their games because they'll have a home court advantage until the conference finals. But they're also winning by a lot in their games, which adds to what their net rating became. So this is the tier.
I'm just going to move on, and I will say that sitting here today, do I foresee myself definitely picking either of these teams over whoever comes out of the East? I have a feeling I'm going to wind up not picking one of these teams if they are the team that comes out of the West over the team that comes out of the East. And the reason for that and why it's different than the exercise now is however many months from now, 4 or 5 months from now, when I'm picking the finals, whoever comes out of the East will, barring something really crazy, will have a better player in the series than anyone on Phoenix. And I'm just going to say it, anyone on Golden State. And they will have won 3 playoff rounds at that point.
Depending on who that East team is.
Well, let's get right to it. Okay. Yeah, so number 3, this is because
I'm not putting Jimmy Butler ahead of Steph Curry. I'm not putting Jimmy Butler over Steph Curry.
No, I'm not. I'm not putting him. I am putting Joel Embiid ahead of Steph Curry, and the Philadelphia 76ers are my number 3 team.
Okay. We have a jump.
Do you have last year's or last?
I do have January's. Hold on a second. Your January power rankings had.
What did I have them like 7th or 8th, 9th?
No, they weren't that disrespectful. Hold on.
I wouldn't be surprised if I had them that low.
Hold on.
And while you're looking, we should say Philly 31-19. Still only 10th in net rating at a 2.7 number, which is like certainly not a standout number by any stretch of the imagination. They have won 5 in a row. They are 8-2 in their last 10 games. Joel Embiid, as you just said, is he the betting favorite right now?
Yes, he is the favorite. Him and Giannis are back and forth. Him, Giannis, and Jokic are actually like a three-way. It's a 3-center race, basically. Although Giannis isn't a center, obviously.
And every time you want to back Jokic, like their team, we'll get to them in a bit, but like they pull out a stinker like this.
You had Philly 10th last time, by the way.
I told you I told you I was lower on them.
Golden State by the way, Phoenix was 3, they're now 1. Golden State was 4, they're now 2. So there's your other jumps.